Good morning, my Teaserking family. How's everybody on this cold, rainy Friday? Is what I got here. And what they got in the Ukraine, it's cold and rainy. Haven't looked at the draft yet. I'm waiting to do that with you. First, I need to bitch about this. Our guy, number 120. The tyrannical side of digital currency is our freedom under threat, with the guest Robert Keynes. This is the stupidest guest I've ever listened to. This guy's incredibly stupid. I don't understand. It really pisses me off when they have these idiots, the Keynesians, on the show as guests. What are you thinking? This is not a Keynesian show. This is a gold show. Why has any guest at all? It's like me having a guest. Who would I have on it? What would be the point? What you going to talk about? Is you going to know as much as me? Is you going to educate you? Fuck no. So I'm going to show you the comments I've added. I added 10 comments to this. I'm going to read them to you. This was my point. Comment 1. Seriously, another guest? Oh my God. They have digital and they want to have paper. And I'm saying is they got to have paper. They pay from paper. You need the medium of exchange. Inflation is the decrease of the money supply. You can't just print as much as you want. This guy's a Keynesian. Oh my God, why is he on here? Next one, to stay safe, buy physical gold and silver. Stop scaring people with these false claims. Never happened in the U.S. to go to a digital currency because the banks won't allow it, and we don't want it. There'll be riots and protests everywhere. Banks will never allow it. Who is this idiot? Bank runs the government, not the other way around. The banks run the government, not the other way around. None of this is communist. Hello. So he's saying, well, look, it works in China as the modern tax, Andrew. What the fuck? That's beneath you. The whole world is going brick. That's gold standard, not digital. Horrible show today. Wasted time. Stick to hold and Austrian. I think stick to gold in Austrian economics. I hate Keynesians like this guy because he's making comments that he doesn't know what he's doing. He quoted Warren Buffett, laugh out loud. Inflation kills every country. Hello. I do master's level, not 101. He said this is like Econ 101. I want physical, not digital. Stop talking paper instead of physical gold, moron. Telling me what I'm thinking. You have no idea, communist. So he's trying to say, well, this is what everybody's thinking in America. It's called free markets. The Titanic, the iceberg, the gold boat is waiting for us. These are my comments about this idiot who could be the dumbest guy I've ever heard in my life. Do never listen to this guy. Now, I'm now watching for an idiot come on and make up a bunch of lies and he's doing, which is all here. Well, if you go to digital currency, you could control it. The banks aren't going to collapse. They'll save them. Did Silicon Valley collapse or did they save it? Did Credit Suisse collapse? No, they saved it. No bank's collapsing because the banks run the government. That's the whole point. It's like the banks can bet on a football game, and if it loses, they get paid back. What a great way. So why this guy's on this guy's channel talking about digital currency when he really has no idea what he's talking about is ridiculous. It's a waste of my time. It's a waste of my energy to sit there and listen to this guy, and he doesn't even know what he's talking about, and it's all hearsay. Do I ever do hearsay with you guys? Do I ever sit there and say, well, maybe? Absolutely not. I tell you exactly what's happening. I'm not guessing. I'm not, I think. I'm not, well, China does this. So this kind of guy really makes me upset. And you don't want to make the professor upset. So I'm sitting there. I'm watching this at 9 o'clock to get ready for this. It's an hour show. I go, what a waste of an hour. I don't know what they think when they bring on a guy like this. When this idiot, the host, is trying to say how good it is. Oh, he's really good. I never heard of him. Now I would never listen to him. Instead of gaining valuable information on our Friday, listening to Andrew McGuire, you fucking didn't tell me anything. And it was a waste of time. I learned nothing except for this guy's a Keynesian and doesn't know. Now, why do I say he's a Keynesian? I'm not sure if we should wait to do it. No, the only way out of this is gold standard. That's it. There's no other way of making anything or making the economy. It's already done. It's Adam Smith. It's been there for 200 years. Oh, well, we're electric now. We have computers. So therefore, the system isn't working. It needs to be changed. It needs to be automated to what we're at now. No, we've automated with debit cards and credit cards. You can't get rid of the money. That is just standard. I mean, that's not what why are you looking for a way to get rid of the money? The money we've been using, but you go to the medium of exchange. That's what an Austrian understands and a Keynesian doesn't. That's why he can't answer that question. Well, I don't know what it is, but we need a new system. No, we don't need a new system. Basically, you had morons inflating the currency, blowing it up, just like the Romans, the French, the Spanish, and the English. Here come the Russians and Chinese because they got all the gold. It's not really hard to figure out or hard to understand. I don't get this guy. He's so stupid. And it just pisses me off because Andrew is pretty much Austrian. What the fuck is he doing with this guy on his into like listening to him? So that's just going to make me more frustrated. You got the point when with my comments, what I said. I left 10 comments because as I'm watching it, I'm going, what the fuck's this guy talking about? First of all, nobody's going to make us do anything. Nobody's going to shove a central bank digital currency where they're going to control us down our throats and we're going to take it. It ain't going to happen. The biggest thing we do is we buy gold and silver, get on. And instead of really looking at it as a problem and a solution, which is what I do, he just wants to do scared psycho digital currency. Well, look, it's working in China. It's not working in China. The Chinese don't want it. They're running out as soon as they can. All of them ran to Canada. I mean, bullshit. You know how they think in China? They're all controlled. They're locked away. You think they can't get to their banks. You think they want digital currency? You think it's working there? How do you know? You don't have a fucking clue. I guarantee it's not working. I guarantee nobody wants to be controlled. Go try it in Russia. They can't even do a war. They're all protesting. Go do that. So I don't know. I don't like when people like this are on, and I don't like when if he's doing his own show, I just ignore it. But when he's coming on to Andrew and you're fucking around with this shit and you're telling all this false information, that's not why we watch. We watch to learn. You come here to learn, and I teach you. And I'm not giving you opinions. I'm giving you facts. This is what's happening. They're inflating the money. Well, how many times I show you the money, right? This is what's left of the money. Buy your gold and silver. Ain't that hard. I teach you the market, the economics of it. Supply, demand, market, ribs, market. And I do it at a master's class, not at a 101 class. I love when they go, oh, it's like economics 101. Did you ever take economics 101, Robert Keynes? I doubt it, because you don't sound like an economist. See, I love to get these guys' backgrounds. They write a book or they sell gold or silver or real estate, and they think they're economists. Unless you've had my background and learned from my school, a master's in economics taught by an economics teacher, you don't know shit. You think you know Peter Schiff or this Mike Maloney or this Andy, whatever his name is, Schechtman, think they're economists, but they're not. They're just salesmen. They know a little about, it's like if I'm an expert in football, which I am, and then you kind of watch the game, so you think you're an expert, and you say certain things. Well, they're putting on fourth down, but you don't really understand the game. You just kind of know it's 4 quarters, and we're trying to get touchdowns and everything else. So if you understand that, that doesn't mean you understand football, because you know there's 4 quarters and we're going. Doesn't mean the same thing with economists. They think they understand it, but when a guy doesn't understand it, it's the gold substitute. It is the gold standard. It's backing your money by gold, so you can't inflate it. Why every country goes out is they inflate it. What the U.S. did, they inflated their dollars. There's no better system or anything. The system is gold-backed currency. That's it. It's no option. But digital currency will not, if it doesn't have gold backing, is the same as this shit. Well, he's saying, well, here I know he's a Keynesian. He goes, well, they want to do, control the money supply. That's what the Keynesians want to know. Well, I don't know that, because I don't study Keynesian economics. Only a Keynesian would study Keynesian economics. So therefore, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. So he's saying, well, they want to control the money. You can't control it. The market controls it. Competition controls it, not the government. The government can't control it. Hey, Kenzie, how are you? You enjoying my rant? This fucker on Robert Kent's, man. If you ever hear this guy, just fucking, I told him to shove it up his ass, because he's a fucking idiot. Anyway, so that's the problem. When they start talking Keynesian, I don't know Keynesian, nor do I want to know it. I know it's government control and it's communism, and ain't nothing good about it. We don't want it. We don't want nothing to do with it. So what the fuck is this guy bringing it up on an Austrian show? So this is what I listen to this. This is Life in the Vault 120. Forget it. Ignore it. Normally I don't, but I gave it a negative, and all those comments I gave, they're out of line with this guy. I don't know what they think this guy is, but when you listen to him, it's clear he's a Keynesian. What the fuck's he wasting my time for? I watch Andrew to kind of when's gold going to go up? When's, COMEX going to blow up? That's what I'm watching it for. Very simple. I already get it. They're out the ring set, not this shit. Anyway, so that's where I'm at with him, and I was very disappointed. But anyway, anytime you hear a guy talking, I'm not sure if we should go to gold standard or that, he's a Keynesian, he doesn't know what he's talking, immediately stop listening. There's only one choice. It's the gold standard. It's the only way you can save the U.S. right now is the gold standard. That's it. Chinese and the Russians have all the gold. They're going gold standard. So the BRICS are going gold standard. So this guy's so fucking clueless. All right. So let's get off of this. Let's go to gold and silver now. Silver's back up to 24.93, again in the imaginary fantasy of COMEX. Gold's 1986. Again, neither of these numbers are real physical, what the real price of gold and silver are. So don't get caught in the thinking these are what they are. These are just bullshit fantasy numbers, so please ignore them. What was I watching? I saw something I wanted to talk about. Okay, possibly the stupidest deal I've ever seen. Lamar Ravens reached 5-year, $260 million deal for a guy who's a backup at best, can't throw to a receiver, and I guarantee will not play the full season for the next 5 years, if he even plays 5 years. Are they doing it to trade him? I mean, that's about all I can think about. What would they want this guy for? He won one playoff game against a really injured Tennessee team who won their division at 8 or whatever. Can't beat Buffalo, San Diego, Kansas City, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. He's not a winner. He runs, can't throw. What are they? And then they 206. So it's $50 million they've just tied up in their quarterback. Good luck. Any injuries they get, they will not have replacements. They will get a good defense because they won't be able. Now they just signed Odell Beckham, and so they signed a receiver, cost of money, so they have nothing left. They will be an over team. Their defense will suck because they won't have 11 good players on it because they can't afford it. And then as soon as there's injuries, then they're really reeling. Offensive line injuries, they're fucked. Running back injuries, they're fucked. Anyway, stupid move on that one. Let's see. Netflix loses millions of subscribers as account sharing ends. Why would you even have account sharing? And they lose millions of subscribers. Well, for what they do, I hate this. The only reason I got it is for Money Heist. That's it. That's the only reason I got it, is to watch Money Heist, which I've seen 10 times, but it's 5 seasons, so you watch a little of different seasons. I like season 5, number 9, where Tokyo and the Professor, and then I like the last one when they get out, but even that, they didn't do real well. I thought there was too fluffy, we got the gold out, it got stolen. What? It's like they're just trying to add drama and it doesn't make sense. First of all, Berlin's kid is not going to steal it from the professor. The professor should be much more aware of that, not being caught off guard that it was stolen. That whole thing's bullshit. There's no way the professor would have got caught like that. Why would Berlin? I mean, what the fuck was that? That was just added drama that was stupid to the storyline. He would never have stole it. The ex-wife saying, well, he got it out, but we're not going to let him give it back. Well, why do you get it back? He's not going to give it back. He's going to exchange it like they did in Copenhagen. Give him credit. It's the fucking professor. So I thought that whole ending where they steal the gold and then she finds them and then they give the gold back, absolutely ridiculous. That was terrible. Argentina to pay for imports and Chinese yuan ditching the U.S. dollar. They're not ditching the U.S. dollar. They're just but this is happening all over the world now. You have to buy dollars to buy the other currency. So what they're saying is now, if you want Chinese, you buy with the yuan. If you want to buy Brazil, you buy with the Brazil. You don't need to come to the U.S. to buy it. That's all this is saying. Only, of course, they don't say it that way. They're saying Argentina to pay for imports in Chinese yuan for Chinese goods, not for Saudi Arabia for oil or U.S., shit. All right. Let's see. I think that was yesterday's. Here's a stupid one. Is the yield curve anticipating a recession? Of course it is. We're already in a recession, and yes, when the rates are higher early and lower late, it's a recession 100% of the time. Why are you asking this question? Is what I understand. It's a it's KGB eating the Oreo. That's all this is. Of course, there's going to be it. So I'm going to delete this saying don't show content from whatever the fuck this is. U.S. is waiving in-person interviews for more visa applicants. Here's how long you have to wait. Who cares? Netflix. With fond memories of his grandmother, an 8-year-old is searching for a special dollar bill. Who gives a fuck? 4 varieties of who gives a fuck? Shinizu. U.S. filed charges in Michigan over diesel engine tampering. Yeah, I'm sure that never happens. The rumor. Argentina to ditch dollar to pay for Chinese imports in yuan. Well, we just talked about it. They're paying Chinese in Chinese. We get that. Then they got to buy the Chinese, and do you trust the Chinese? So this tells you where the gold is. So we're really waiting for this gold standard to finally come out, and we will go for that. What else was I looking at yesterday? I never did read this yet, this wealth creation show. I can summarize it in one word: gold. If they tell you to buy stocks and bonds and mutual funds and 401ks and a house and that, tell them to fuck off. Dark side of the Indian miracle, we'll have to get to that. Basically, you have the economy is failing because of inflation, which is what always does. You print the money to zero. What the fuck do you think is going to happen? If this is your dollar, what do you think is going to happen with this? So I don't know. That's my point. I don't really get why is this a big surprise when it happened to the Romans and everybody they don't know. Did they need digital currency in Rome? Fuck no. It doesn't matter. You have money that's backed with gold and silver, and you're fine. And as soon as you get rid of it, somebody else gets the gold and silver. It doesn't go anywhere. So now some new country gets it, and they slaughter you because they have gold and silver, and you're not going to pay your army. And that's what happened. The Germans took Russia because Russia didn't have any more gold to pay their army. Germany got all the gold, paid their army, and guess who won? Germany. He who has the gold makes the rules. So it's really very simple how these idiots don't realize what's happening, or is there a better system? We've already went down the road in 1776. The better system's Adam Smith. The better system's laissez-faire capitalism, Austrian economics, gold system. That's the best system, period. It doesn't need to be digital, and I'm not giving up my coin for digital. Never. I don't care if I'm in the grid. I don't need to be in the grid. I'm not doing anything illegal. Oh, hear this story. So I'm driving to the grocery store to get a little bit of food last night, and there's construction like right at the point. It's down to one lane, and there the light's ridiculous. It's like one light at it, like both lights can't go at the same time. So it's like the side goes, and then we go, and then the side coming at us goes. Like, why can't both these go together? It's the stupidest light system I've ever seen, but with construction, it's really bad. So I was like, 10 cars get through, and I'm the 11th car. and it's yellow and they're going. So, of course, I'm going to go through. Why wouldn't I? Only I have a motorcycle policeman behind me, which I'm not paying attention who's behind me. So he starts flashing his lights, and I pull into the grocery store and park. He's like doing the siren, and I'm like, fuck off. I'm going into a parking space. So he looks at me. I don't know what he was expecting. And he says, is everything up to date? I says, yeah. Insurance, registration, everything's fine. Here's a license. He says, oh, I see you have 2 licenses. Oh, that's from my old address. I changed jobs a lot. They asked me for my old addresses. I don't know. So he looks at it, sees no tickets. I haven't had tickets in years or accidents or anything in 20 years. So he finally comes back and he says, okay, I'm just going to give you a warning, but be careful. I said, well, with all the construction, if I didn't go then, it would have been another 5 minutes, and my back's really aching and I need medication. Says, you going to the pharmacy? I said, no, they just have regular, Motrin or something, but it's, how long am I going to sit at a light for? He says, well, this is a dangerous intersection. I go, yeah, I'm an excellent driver, so I'm not worried. I was right on the tail of the guy going in front of me on the yellow. So, what are you even stopping me for? So he doesn't give me he gives me a warning. I'm like, whatever. Like I was going to say, yeah, I know you weren't going to give me a ticket because I live in Novi. It was in Novi. So it was kind of like, you don't ticket your own people. Like the police, if you're in a city, if you're in, I don't know, Chicago, and you live in Chicago and the cop's from Chicago, he's not going to give you a ticket because you're paying his salary. So he's going to give a ticket to the guy from another city. And that's what happened. So he basically didn't. And that was it. So I didn't get the ticket, which really when he stopped me, I just felt, being an INFJ, I wasn't going to get one. No, he's not going to give me one. Another warning. Okay, I went in, did my shopping, and came out and came home. Anyway, so before I get to the NFL draft, I just want to make sure I got all that. What the fuck? I'm getting the system UI isn't responding, and I got to keep hitting this wait system. I don't know what a system UI is, but it like darkens the screen and then gives this white pad system UI on it. But then it comes up anyway. All right. So anything else? Let's go look at the NBA. I had one game. I took Boston -6.5. Let's see what the fuck happened. Celtics win game 6. And they win. Do they cover? Yeah, 120. There's a W for everybody. All right, we hit Boston. We hit Memphis the night before. We went 1-3 the night before. Now we hit Boston. All right, now let's look at what we got today. Okay, computer came back. So let's look at today's teams. Now we're dealing with Denver Phoenix game 1. Today we got Sacramento Golden State. Golden State up 3-2 and Lakers 3-2 up in Memphis. And we got what do we got here? Sacramento's the 3 seed, Golden State's the 6, but really they're identical in record, a game or two separating. Golden State -7.5 at home, and really what we'll call a must-win game. I like Golden State because Sacramento had their game and lost. Golden State minus a touchdown. And then we got the Lakers 4.5 over Memphis. Lakers lead 3-2. Pretty much a must-win for both teams. Is the Lakers that strong at home? Usually the home team's good. I'm going to leave that one alone, I think. Memphis is the 2 seed and could win. Look at Memphis, 51-31, and they're struggling with the Lakers. All right, let's get down to some serious business here. So let's go to the draft. All right. Where am I? How do I get to? Okay, draft. First pick, Bryce Young, Carolina. Carolina will be lucky to win 2 games next year. What are they doing? Is this the draft? Drafted players. Okay, yeah. All right. Houston. Houston's going to go undefeated. Or they're not going to win a game. C.J. Stroud. And the guy gives him a draft grade of an A. I give him a draft grade of an F. The Texans stayed put and made the most logical pick at the point. Oh, really? Not Hooker? They kept their draft capital and still ended up with a top. Oh, really? They got a top flight quarterback. Oh, this is interesting. This Charles McDonald. This is my point about listening to idiots. Charles McDonald sounds like a moron, right? He clearly doesn't know what he's talking about. This is where I tell you, I warn you about listening to people with poker, listening to people with economics and gold and everything else. So you start listening, you got to listen to somebody, and you got to find the guy that you idiot. C.J. Stroud to Houston. Houston will not win a game next year. All right. One on Will Anderson, Alabama. He's arguably the best defensive player in the draft. Yeah, that 50 points Tennessee put up, he looked like a superstar there. But the Texans gave up a lot of draft capital to move up for his services, including trading their 2024 first-round pick to acquire him. He's a pretty sure bet to be a star, just like all the other Alabama guys. And the Texans have a pick from the Browns to buffer their loss of draft capital. The loss of draft capital, I love it. He's using words like draft capital like it means something, is the only thing knocking this grade down from an A+. Okay, again, another bad pick. So I agree Houston needed defense. I would not have taken this guy. And then C.J. Stroud, you're better off with Davis Mills. C.J. Stroud will not know the playbook, all he's going to do is run, and they're not going to win a game. Here we go. Indy, Anthony Richardson. Draft grade an A. This guy's unbelievable, this McDonald guy. Let's take a home run swing here with Anthony Richardson, but he's not as raw as people might think based on his numbers. He has a chance to start. In what league does he have? Now, we're going to go through quarterbacks when we're done with this, and we're going to look at these idiots, right? So another Indy won't win a game. They don't have a quarterback. What a pathetic pick this is. Again, showing clear knowledge. They don't know what they're doing. Seattle, Devin Witherspoon, cornerback, Illinois. I love it. Illinois, that's one of the defensive teams I'm talking about. Witherspoon isn't the biggest corner, but he has fuck it. He's good. Good pick by Seattle. Although I would have probably got the Georgia defensive lineman. It's more important than the cornerback. But nice pick. They went defense, which is what Houston and Indy should have done. Arizona, wasted pick. Paris Johnson, an O tackle from Ohio State. He looked really good against Michigan, didn't he? They couldn't get a first down. The Cardinals were able to keep the draft pick compensation pretty tame on this selection as they moved back up to take Paris Johnson. He was 1. Yeah, okay, whatever. What the fuck are you drafting an offensive lineman number 6? I would say the other tackle from Ohio State's just as good as him. And you probably could have got him in the 3rd or 4th round. So, again, a terrible pick. Oakland, Tyree Wilson from Texas Tech. Another huge mistake. The Raiders quietly needed pass rush help with Chandler Jones not giving them the impact they were hoping for in the first year. And you're drafting a guy from Texas Tech. Good luck with that one. Unbelievable. These guys are like the stupidest league. Atlanta, Bijan Robinson. Why would you have the running back? You have a running back. You need a quarterback. Bijan's an excellent football. Oh, is he? They only got 10 points on TCU. How excellent is he? And we'll make the Falcons roster better if he even makes the team. But they had some more pressing needs that could have been taken care of. This is a stupid pick. We don't know how good he is. He's okay, except for when he plays TCU in Kansas State. He doesn't show up. I don't know. Does Atlanta need a running back? Don't they need like defense and a quarterback? Like, is this going to make this team? Are we going to bet on Atlanta with this guy when they have the other running back? I don't think so. Philadelphia, Jalen Carter out of Georgia. They need a defense, so that was a good pick. They still need a quarterback. Jalen is the best player in the class when he's healthy. He's the most dominant player. Absolutely. I agree with this. This should have been Seattle's pick. I don't know what Seattle was thinking. This is the ace plus of the draft so far. The Bears, oh my God. Offensive tackle from Tennessee. What are you doing? Darnell was the third ranked player on our board. Oh, and you can rank a board there, Charles McDonald. What a terrible pick for the Bears. Offensive tackle, they need a quarterback, running back, receivers, and defense. Not offensive tackle. You don't need offensive tackles in the 10th pick. Tennessee, Peter Skoronski, offensive tackle from Northwestern. Oh, my God. You need a quarterback. You got rid of Henry. You have no receivers. You have no defense. You take an offensive. You and the Bears have your heads so far up your asses. What are you doing? Drafting an offensive tackle with the first pick. This guy, how many games is he going to play? 3-4 games before he gets injured? Oh, my God. Detroit Lions. Typical Detroit Lions pick. Jamar Gibbs, a running back from Alabama who I never heard of. Are the Lions okay? Jamar Gibbs is a huge surprise this early in the draft, and absolutely no one had him going in this range. What the fuck are the Lions? Well, this is a line. It's because he's cheap. He played for Alabama. There's a guy at UCLA, Charbonneau, who used to play at Michigan, who's 100 times better than this guy. What the fuck are you doing drafting Jamar Gibbs? Is this because your wide receiver from Alabama chose him? Is that who's making the picks here? Why in God's name, when you need defense, would you draft a running back who isn't even good? He wasn't even the best running back on Alabama. We'll check his stats in a minute. What the fuck are they doing? So we're gonna look at Jamar Gibbs' stats. I can't wait for this. Gibbs, running back, Alabama. Okay. I bet he didn't even have 500 yards. I bet he didn't have 5 touchdowns. All they do is throw the ball there. What a pick. 20 touchdowns last year, and they let him go for $1 million. You pick up this guy? Oh, my God. Green Bay, Lucas Van Ness. I like him out of Iowa. That would have been a Lions pick. He's an edge. You know the guys from Iowa. So you've got an Iowa and an Illinois and a Georgia so far. All right. There you go. First 13 picks, you got 3 of my guys drafted. None by the idiot Lions. That's why I bet against them and we win so much money. So I'm smart enough to bet against the idiots. All right. Very good. Green Bay needed an edge rusher. They need defense, and they still need a quarterback. Pittsburgh, Broderick Jones, offensive tackle from Georgia. What the fuck are they doing? Pittsburgh does not need an offensive tackle. They need a wide receiver. Or some defense. The last thing they need is an offensive tackle. Now, he's from Georgia, so he's good, but I'm not drafting this guy in the first round or the second round. The Jets, Jets. Will McDonald, an edge from Iowa State. There you go, my Iowa State guy. It's so easy, right? I make things so easy. Iowa State, Iowa, Illinois, and Georgia. So far, 4 of my guys have gone in the first 15 picks. Where are the Lions taking Will McDonald, an edge from Iowa State, who you know is going to be a superstar? Because he's played for Iowa State, and they hold the fucking Big 12 to like 13 points a game. Unbelievable. Beautiful, beautiful draft by the Jets. They got Aaron Rodgers. Now they got this great edge rusher. I'm sure he'll be all pro. And what the fuck? Wow. Washington, Emmanuel Forbes, cornerback from Mississippi State. Okay, we have a big problem with this pick. Not only does Washington need offense and a quarterback, you're getting a cornerback from Old Mississippi State who did not have a good defense. What are you doing? I wouldn't mind a cornerback from Tennessee, maybe Florida, teams that face a lot of passing. That would have made sense from Old Mississippi State. 6'1", 166. Out of their fucking minds. This is why teams lose every year. This is why Washington loses every year. This is why Houston loses every year. This is why Indy loses every year, because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. I'm all fired up over that one, over my Andrew McGuire thing. So I had to come on early just for that. New England, Chris Gonzalez, cornerback, Oregon. What a wasted pick is. Yeah, Oregon really gave up, 4 points a game? Yeah, this is what I want. A cornerback from Oregon? Are you fucking kidding me? The Lions come back with Jack Campbell from Iowa. Okay, that makes sense. Campbell, they could have had him 2 rounds later, but he's from Iowa. You don't want to wait. So now we've got 2 Iowas, Iowa State, Illinois, and Georgia. Still no Washington State or Oregon State guys yet. So we've got 5 of my guys in the 18th. Campbell, a linebacker. Should be it's a good pickup. Tampa Bay defensive tackle Khalil Kancey out of Pittsburgh. Tampa Bay. Okay, they needed a defensive tackle. I don't mind this. How good is he out of Pitt? I have no idea, but that's okay. The worst pick in the draft, Jackson Smith, Najimbi, wide receiver, Ohio State. Terrible pick. The guy played for 5 minutes last year. Pulls his hamstring. The whole year, his hamstring's out. Even in the Michigan game, in the bowl game, I don't know if he played. What a wasted pick. And he's not that good anyway. It was only because Olave was getting all the attention in the Rose Bowl that he had a big game. 6-1, terrible pick. Seattle. Do you need a receiver? You've got Lockett and the other guy. What do you need another receiver for? Don't understand. San Diego, Quentin Johnson. This guy is so much better than the last guy at Ohio State. Let's see. Were there other receivers taken? Let's see. You had a quarterback, we'll call him a quarterback, an edge, another fake quarterback, cornerback, O-tackle, edge, running back, D-tackle, O-tackle, running back, edge, O-tackle, edge, cornerback, back, linebacker, D-tackle, wide receiver. So Quentin Johnson, I don't know if San Diego lost one of their receivers, but okay, this guy's 100 times better than the Ohio State guy. So I'm fine with that. This guy's out of his mind. Great pick, TCU, wide receiver, superstar. Baltimore, Zay Flowers, wide receiver, Boston College. Seriously? Zay Flowers is any good out of? Well, we'll check. We'll check this guy's stats. So you go into Yahoo. Well, it's not like Lamar Jackson can throw to him anyway, and you need running backs, and you're going to need defense because when the guys get injured, you're fucked. Minnesota, Jordan Anderson, wide receiver, US. Terrible pick. USC, wide receivers never do anything. It's a scheme out there. Horrible pick. Why didn't they get Hooker? What a stupid move this is. So Jordan Anderson, you've got Jefferson. This guy won't even see the field. He's from USC, so terrible pick. The Giants, Deontay Banks, cornerback out of Maryland. Are you kidding me? Wow. Terrible pick. Quarterback, you need receivers, you need a quarterback, you need defensive line. This isn't what you need. Not in the first round. Dalton Kincaid, tight end from Utah. I love it. Oh my God. I hope Cincinnati gets Meyer from Notre Dame. Dalton Kincaid, excellent pick. However, not what Buffalo needed. They needed defense to recover from Micah Hyde and from Von Miller. That's what they need. And they need a running back. So Kincaid, he'll be good on the short passes. Very good out of Utah. I like him. Very strong. Dallas, Mozzie Smith, defensive tackle from Michigan. Hey, drafting from Michigan can be very dangerous. Okay, Dallas needed defense. I don't mind it, but I don't know what I don't know who they let. They let Elliott go. They got Pollard. Who knows? That's fine. Jacksonville, Antoine Harrison, offensive tackle from Oklahoma. With that one, fellas. An offensive tackle in the first round. Enough said. Cincinnati, Miles Murphy, edge from Clemson. Don't like the Clemson guys. Last year they sucked. Why didn't they get Michael Meyer from Notre Dame? Would have been perfect. So he's not that good. So be careful. Miles Murphy. I think a big mistake here by Cincinnati. You don't go to Clemson. I would have been better if they went to Georgia or Iowa State or Washington State's loaded with linebackers. New Orleans, Bryce Reese, defensive tackle, Clemson. Stupid pick. Philadelphia, Nolan Smith, edge from Georgia. There you go. Now, can you explain why Cincinnati didn't take Nolan Smith, the edge from Georgia? Instead, they take Miles Murphy, the edge from Clemson, when the guy from Georgia is 5 times better than him. Terrible picking by Cincinnati and New Orleans. You could have had Nolan Smith. You could have had Nolan Smith from Georgia. Fuck, that hurts. So Philly gets 2 Georgia guys on their defensive line. They still can't beat Kansas City, but now they got 4 Georgia guys. So they're just going to go after all the Georgia guys and have defensive Georgia guys. Then they probably would win the Super Bowl. Kansas City, Felix and Dookie Uzama, an edge from Kansas State. Okay, I don't mind that. That's a good pick. They needed an edge. Guy out of Kansas State, solid guy. There you go. I don't mind that. So let's have some fun. And let's go to NFL stats. Oh, no, we want NCAA stats. My fault. My apologies. NCAA stats. Okay. Season leaders in touchdown. Turn it sideways so I get everything. CJ Stroud, 41 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, lost to Michigan, lost to Georgia. Basically a choker. 283 yards a game. I would have rather had Clayton Tune from Houston. He was 40-10. Sam Hartman, now he's going back to Notre Dame. Let's see. So where's all these? Max Duggan. Why isn't he 32-8? Why aren't you drafting that guy? Fuck. Here's Bryce Young, 32-5. He only played in 12 games, so he got hurt. Should have lost 4. Lost to Tennessee, LSU. Should have lost to Texas and Texas A&M. If Texas A&M ran their halfback on the 4th and 1 at the 1-yard line, the fact that they're only up a couple points on A&M, 4 points late in the game, 7. Hooker, 27-2. Yeah, it said I'm offline, but no, it looks like I'm online. Okay. So I assume I'm online. I see the clock running. So anyway, if you can see me, just tell me whoever this is, if it's Kenzie or somebody else. Chase Bryce. So who am I looking for? Thompson Robinson, 27 and 10. Cam Rising, 26 and 8. I still haven't gotten down to our buddy. Look at KJ Jefferson, Arkansas, 20. I love it. I still haven't found our Florida guy. I believe his name's Richardson, isn't it? Will Levis, 19 touchdowns and 10 picks. There you go. This guy's a winner. Fucking guy. Well, let's see. 12 games, 17 touchdowns and 9 picks. And these morons drafted the guy third. 17 and 9, and you're drafting him third. Wow. But, he looked good in shorts. He doesn't play in shorts. They use pads, and he actually has to throw and people are rushing him. So it's not like draft day where they're just sitting there and it's taking, look, he's got a good arm when nobody's around him and he's in shorts and a T-shirt. Unfucking believable. This is the guy you draft, 17 and 9. You could have had Tommy DeVito out of Illinois, 15 and 4. What the fuck is that? That's just pathetic. Who was the other guy then? Who did Indy take? The third pick is CJ Stroud. Oh my God, these guys are fucking idiots. Yeah, 17 and 9. What kind of crap is that? So if we look at the board and you just look at the numbers, which you can't because USC's a system, 42 and 5. Stroud at 41 and 6 is just a system. Fields was the same. He won't do anything in the pros. Hartman I love, but he's at Notre Dame this year. He was 38 and 12. Hartman's 38 and 12, and you drafted 17 and 9 Richardson. What are you going to do next year when you could have used Hartman? But you already have Richardson, so you won't draft Hartman because you have Richardson. So you're not even drafting the best players. What the fuck are you doing? Who drafted him? Tennessee or Indy? I think it was Indy. So Houston drafts CJ Stroud. They'll be winless. And then Indy drafted Richardson. They'll be winless. Unless they plan on putting him as like a wide receiver. That could be. Maybe that's what they're thinking. Look at Frank Harris from UTSA, who I love, is 32 and 9. What the fuck? These guys are clueless. Well, he's fast. All right, let's go to rushing. Unless it's Gibbs guy that the Lions took, if he's even on here. So we start off, we're going to do rushing yards a game, not total yards, because they play different amount of games. So the first guy out of UAB, Dwayne McBride, had 1,700 yards. Maybe you could have drafted that guy, the Lions, not this Gibbs, because he went to Alabama. How about Muhammad Ibrahim, rest for 1,600 yards in Minnesota, and Chase Brown, 1,600 yards at Illinois, and Zach Charbonnet, 1,400 yards at UCLA. No, we don't want him. Now, this is the mystery. Bijan Robinson only ran for 1,500 yards in 12 games. McBride ran for 1,711, and Ibrahim from Minnesota ran for 1,612 games. What the fuck are you drafting Bijan Robinson for? Why do you think he's better than Ibrahim? He ain't better than Ibrahim. He's not better than Chase Brown, and he's not better than Zach Charbonnet. And who knows if this McBride, if he's a senior or not. Well, let's go see if we can find Blake Corum, 1,400 yards. I don't know if he's a senior. Let's see if we can find the Alabama guy. Arizona State, Auburn. Michigan's got another guy, Donovan Edwards, a whole 900 yards. Ohio State had nobody. South Alabama had LaDainian Webb for 1,000 yards. No, that's Gibbs. That's Alabama. I don't see him even gain 81 yards a game. Let's see if we can find him on page 2. This is your first areas. Your first round pick, this is your first pick in the draft, 12 games, 900 yards, 77 yards a game, and 7 touchdowns. And he's on the second page. The guy ahead of him's better. Zach Evans from, I think this is Missouri or Mississippi. Let's look at Tank Brigsby from Auburn. 12 games, 970 yards. He ran for 80 yards a game, and Gibbs was 77 with 10 touchdowns. So Tank Bigsby from Auburn is better than this guy. What are you doing? Again, a page tour, just like Richardson. Now, I've been doing this my whole life, and this is why I use this. This is how we make money, right? I go right here, and I look at the stats, and I look at quarterbacks that throw a lot of interceptions, and I look at this, and I look at running backs that gain a lot. I'm not looking at Jahmyr Gibbs to bet. If he plays for the Lions, I guarantee 5-6 fumbles, no yards. He won't do anything. But why would you waste him with your first pick? What are you possibly thinking when you could have had all the guys I told you? The Iowa State guy, the Georgia guy, right? That second Georgia guy went to Philadelphia, number 20. You could have had him. And then you could have had the linebacker from Iowa, or you could have had the guy from Iowa State. What do you think? You need defense, fellas. Your defense sucks. It's the worst in the league. You draft a running back with them from Iowa, which is probably going to be useless. In today's day and age, it's either pass rushers or secondary. So they should have gotten the guy from Georgia, the second guy from Georgia, or the guy from Iowa. I would have got the guy from Iowa to 10 points. All right. So let's go to Flowers, the wide receiver from BC, because I'm sure he's got to be a stud, right? So let's go. And guy from SMU, 96 catches, 112 yards games, 10 touchdowns. No, who's this guy? Flowers from BC. Let's see if we can find Flowers from BC. Or for that matter, let's look for the guy. Well, we won't even find the guy. Here he is, 12 catches, 78. What do we got here? 12 games, 78 receptions, and then yards per game over there. So 89, 1,000 yards for 12 games is 89, and he had 12 touchdowns. So he had 89 yards a game, and 89 yards a game receiving. What else do we need to see? Or longest in touchdowns. All right, so let's see. 69-yarder and 12 touchdowns. Okay, so let's look at Marvin Harrison, 14 touchdowns. Hyatt from Tennessee, 15 touchdowns. Nathaniel Dale from Houston, 17 touchdowns. And they go with Flowers from BC. I don't right now remember who took them. I mean, what the fuck kind of pick is that? First of all, you don't draft receivers from PC. Okay, Hyatt from Tennessee, superstar. Rice from SMU, superstar. Dell from Houston, superstar. Let's see. Iowa State had a good receiver. Harrison, Ohio State. He's going to be good. Not a first rounder. That's about it. Receivers. Not really a big receiver thing, but certainly not the kid, the receiver from Ohio State. What are you thinking there? So let's go through this again. So Bryce Young, it's a system. He won't do anything. He won't be as good as Tagliabue. CJ Stroud, absolutely horrible pick. If he gets out there, he's just going to run around. He won't complete 50% of his passes. Houston doesn't have anybody to throw the ball to anyway. This is a wasted pick. Will Anderson, pathetic. He's not that good. 50 points to Tennessee is about all I can say. That's what he's going to face here. Well, he might not face it in the division because they don't have any quarterbacks. Indy's got no quarterback in Richardson. Tennessee's got no quarterback. And Jacksonville's got no quarterback. So he might be okay in this division because they're all so bad. But they did not help themselves. Indy gets Richardson, one of the worst draft. And this guy's giving it an A. I'd like to meet this Charles McDonald and pick his brain for an hour. What a terrible pick. They won't win a game, Indy. Indy won't win a game, and Houston won't win a game. Seattle, Weathers, good. Illinois, okay. Arizona, terrible pick. Pierce Johnson, Ohio State. What do you think he's any good for? This is your sixth pick in the draft. You're taking an offensive tackle when your quarterback's out and you don't have a quarterback and you need a quarterback. Tyree Wilson from Oak, Texas Tech. You're going to have guys from Iowa State, Georgia, Iowa, Washington State you haven't even touched yet. You go to Texas Tech, a real strong defensive school, I know. What a joke that is. Atlanta Robinson, I just named 5 guys better than him when I'm looking at the running backs. And you're drafting an offensive tackle for what? The quarterback runs. Do you really need an offensive tackle or do you need defense and a quarterback? Tennessee, an offensive tackle. Who's your quarterback? Did they get a quarterback I don't know about? I don't know. Maybe I'll have to look, but right now this is a pick from Northwest. They were a powerhouse, weren't they? Detroit, we know Gibbs. What a stupid pick that is. Green Bay. I liked Van Nuys. See, here's the edge out of Iowa. Good pick for Green Bay. Pittsburgh, Jones, offensive tackle, terrible pick. Even if he's any good, you don't have a quarterback. You don't have receivers. I like your running back, but you can pick up this guy, Broderick Jones. You can pick up in the 5th round out of Michigan, Alabama, Georgia, Texas, anywhere. You can pick this guy up. They're all the same, right? Will McDonald from Iowa State. I love the Jets pick. Give them an A. And then there's Washington, a cornerback from Mississippi State who's 6'1", 166. Yeah, I'm sure he's going to tackle Tony Pollard. And he's tackle Barkley. Yeah, sure he will. So you got to meet with this guy. What? And they didn't need defense. They need a quarterback. They could have had, here you go, Hookers. Nope, you didn't get him. Now, Levis sucks. I wouldn't have taken Levis, but Chris Gonzalez, New England, I have no idea what they're doing there. They need quarterback unless they go to Zappy. So if they're going to go to Zappy, then they don't need the quarterback. But I don't know where this guy, cornerback. Jack Campbell, linebacker from Iowa, okay. Khalil Cansey for Tampa. Tampa's got holes all over their defense. I hope they go with Trask at quarterback. And then defensive tackle here. So, yeah, this should be defensive. Pittsburgh. I don't know. I don't know this guy. Probably a bust. Seattle, terrible pick. Smith, Najima. I read you 10 wide receivers. And it's not a good year for wide receivers. Why didn't they go with Marvin Harrison Jr.? They're going to take Ohio State. This guy is – what are you going to get, 3 games out of him, Coach Pete? And you don't need them. You've got Metcalf and Lockett. You don't need them. What the fuck? So they're going to have the best wide receiver trio with Metcalf, Lockett, and Smith Najiba. And you got Walker. You don't need the wide receiver. You need defense. Hello. So they go, what the fuck? Okay, at least they got the guy from TCU to go with their guys. Does it? I guess Keenan Allen went. They let Keenan Allen go, or he retired. So okay, that makes more sense. But they still need defense. Zay Flowers, to Baltimore. Yeah, good pick here. Guy goes to Baltimore, drafts a guy at BC who sucks. Yeah, okay, yeah. 5'9", 182. You think Jackson will come within 10 yards of him if he's even playing? Okay, so Baltimore is probably going to miss the playoffs again because they're not going to have any backups, right? All the money that went to Jackson, you pulled out of your defense. Defense gets hurt in the first few weeks because of no training camp, and they're done. And they don't have, and the backup's going to be guys out of the grocery store. Vikings, terrible pick. Jordan Anderson, wide receiver out of USC, ridiculous. Playing next to Justin How many balls are going to Justin Jefferson, and then how much did you just waste on this guy? Keep in mind, you've got Hooker sitting there. It's the perfect fit for you. Here's my point. When you look at value, you look at risk, return, risk and return, right? What do I talk about? The risk of holding gold is zero, and the return is huge. The risk of holding this Jordan Anderson when you have Jefferson is there's a high risk, no return. But you know what? You still got Kirk Cousins, so that means you're still going to choke. Had you went to Hooker, then you would have been a championship team. But no, you go to Jordan Anderson. What kind of fucking trade is that? Hey, Bobby, just going over the draft, laughing hard. Oh, my God. The Giants got Deonte Banks, a cornerback from Maryland. Yeah. You got a 6th-round pick in the 1st round. That's great. What a bunch of idiots, especially since you needed wide receivers, a quarterback, and some defense. And you draft a quarterback. Just ate an omelet after 21. Very good for you, Bobby. Yeah, we'll go through them again because I'm having so much fun. Don't watch our guy today. Our guy's show. I read 7 comments in there just lambasting the guest on the show is a fucking Keynesian, and I just ripped them apart. So I'm still kind of upset about this idiot not knowing, well, we don't know if the gold standard is the best thing to have. It's the only thing to have, you fucking morons. So it's really tough to listen to, I keep going to the guy, why do you have guests on that are Keynesians? What the fuck are you doing it? Just talk, Andrew. We want to hear you talk. We don't want to hear, like, they think it's a big deal to have these guys from the U.S. guest. They don't know what the fuck they're doing, and they're all Keynesians. Doc Richardson went from Florida. Yeah, well, all right, we'll review it. In other words, Kenzie is back here. She stays for about 5 seconds, and then she goes. I don't answer her Telegram anymore because she wanted money, and she kept calling me weak because I didn't want to give her money to meet her. She said, "You're weak," and I said, "No, I'm not weak. I'm just smart. Send me a picture of you and give me a call like everybody else does." "Oh, no, I can't do that." "Okay, well, I'm weak." "Yeah, you can't even make a phone call." "Okay, I'm the weak one." Does she still text you and refuse to get on a call? I turned off Telegram or whatever it is. So I don't, she can hit me up on WhatsApp if she wants, but I'm not going to get on a program just for her that I don't use for anybody else. And then she calls me weak. So she's interrupting me and pissing me off. So I don't need any of that. She's not like a certified clown. No, it's not her. It's a scam. It's some Russian guy. That's who it is. So I'm a little pissed I didn't hear from Daria today. I get up, it's 8:00. It's 3:00 in Russia. Where's my text? And I see she's been on. I go, "What's wrong? Why aren't you texting me? Is your daughter okay after that ordeal last week?" And I can't. Jenna had bombs go off. She had 22 missiles go off in her neighborhood, and they shot down 20 of them. So 2 apparently got through. And, well, geez, Jenna, you could have still been in Barcelona instead of fucking around back home. So I'm kind of a little upset there too, which I don't want to. But Kenzie's not a clown. Kenzie's not real. So that's the difference. I'm real. You're real. This draft's real. As funny as it looks. So Buffalo, Dalton Kincaid, tight end from Utah. Love it. Love the Utah guys. good pick, but it's a good player, but a bad. They didn't need a tight end. They needed a fucking Von Miller. They needed Micah Hyde. They need a running back. They don't need the tight end. Dallas, Maisie Smith, defensive tackle from Michigan. I'm curious about the Michigan guys. They're never any good in the pros. Jacksonville, Anton Harrison, offensive tackle, Oklahoma. Again with the offensive tackles. Are you seriously thinking you can't get an offensive tackle from Georgia in the 5th round that's as good as this guy? Do you think this guy is so good that you took him? That he's better than all, especially Jacksonville. You need a quarterback. You need receivers. You need defense. You're drafting offensive tackles. And then you wonder why you still suck next year. Cincinnati, I got a little pissed at them. They took Miles Murphy, an edge from Clemson, instead of Michael Mayer, the tight end from Notre Dame. What the fuck are you doing? And then the guy from Clemson sucked last year. Then the next pick, Philadelphia gets Nolan Smith, the edge from Georgia. Oh, why didn't they get the edge from Georgia? The Georgia players are always better than the Clemson players. So Clemson edge to Cincy, Clemson defensive tackle to New Orleans. 2 bad picks there. Smith was an A pick from Kansas State. I like that because Kansas State's got a good defense. So we'll go back through the top 6 for Bobby. Okay. Bobby, what do you? She says you're weak, but she needs money. She doesn't need, that's the real Kenzie's like a millionaire. Well, she makes a lot of money because she does so many movies, but because I don't want to give her money does not mean I'm weak. It's not like I don't want to meet her. I just want to make sure it's her I'm meeting. Well, where do you get weak out of me? What are you fucking kidding me? She sounds like a sir. Man, the stream is starting. Well, it was worse before. It's not. It's better now. It seems a little. It seems okay now. Did this yesterday the whole time, and now lagging again. Bad. I'm sorry. It's okay here, so I don't know what's going on there. I can't even hear the professor. Oh, sorry about that. These coaches and GMs literally embarrass themselves. I agree. Let me know when you can hear me, Bobby, and we'll start talking about the draft again. So sorry about that, but just give me a shout when I can start talking. So I got up. I listened to our guy. So don't listen to him. This was a horrible show with this guy, Robert Klein. Don't waste your time. It's an hour long, and the guy doesn't even know what Austrian economics is. Why would you have a Keynesian on your show when you're an Austrian and then nobody knows what the fuck he's talking about, and he doesn't know what he's talking about? It's going all right for now. Hopefully it stays good. Alistair had his Friday show. I don't know. He doesn't have a normal Friday show like Andrew does. But Andrew, for some reason, thinks he needs guests. And then the guy says, oh, this is going to be an amazing show. And I'm like, yeah, if you say it every fucking week, it ain't an amazing show. And then he brings on this guest, and they go all wild over this guest. And I start listening to him. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. Oh, there's going to be digital currency. No, there's not. Nobody fucking wants it. Well, in China, China's a communist country where they don't have a choice. This is America. Europe, they're not going to go for it. They're going to say, fuck you. Nobody's that stupid to want digital currency. And JP Morgan and the banks aren't going to let digital currency come out. So what the fuck are you talking about? And it's so aggravating. All right, let's go through the draft. Bryce Young, quarterback, Alabama, terrible pick. Carolina needed defense. They need to replace McCaffrey. They need receivers. This ain't going to help them at all. Houston, CJ, they're going to be winless next year with this clown. I really don't get it. Houston needs so much other. They don't need that. Then Houston trades up for Will Anderson, another Alabama player. what the fuck are they doing? You just left all these Iowa State and Georgia players on the table, and you take Will Anderson because you think he's good based on what? What do you see? Was it the 50-49 Tennessee win where he looked so good, giving up 50 points? What is? How do you sit there and go, Will Anderson so good? Oh, he went to Alabama, of course. So again, Houston will be winless next year, and then we got Indy. Anthony Richardson with the 4th pick. I looked at his stats. Here's Anthony Richardson's stats last year: 17 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. At least Stroud was 40-7. There's guys on Houston, Clayton Tune, and some of these other schools that were like 39. Hartman was 37. Whatchamacallit, Rising was like 34. This guy 17-9 in college. It gets harder in the pros, not easier. So if he could only do 17 and 9 picks in college at Florida, playing Georgia, Tennessee, and Kentucky, what the fuck? And then I looked at Will Levis's stats. They're even worse than his. He is like 17-12. Like, they're your studs. The reason you look at the stats is so we can bet college, so I can find the quarterbacks that we want to bet on. Not Will Levis and Richardson, and it ain't fucking C.J. Stroud because we got burned against Michigan, didn't we? So what the fuck are you drafting these idiots for? Oh, my God. So Anthony Richardson, the only way the Colts and Houston get wins, one team they'll probably go 1-1 or another tie. They will not beat anybody who's not named Indy in Tennessee, or I don't know. So what? And this idiot grades it an A. It's an A. The Colts take home a home run swing here, but he's not as raw as people might think. Yeah, he got 17 touchdowns and 9 picks. That's not raw. If that's raw, they got big fucking problems. So again, we're betting heavily against Indy. Now, will he start? Who do they got? And then what's Houston? Davis Mills. It's pretty sad. Davis Mills is better than C.J. Stroud. That's how bad C.J. Stroud is. All right, Seattle, Devon Witherspoon out of Illinois. I like that pick. Illinois, one of my 5 defense teams, so I have no problem with that. Good pick, Coach Pete. Then I start having trouble. Arizona takes an offensive tackle from Ohio State. Excuse me? You're wasting your number 6 pick with an offensive tackle from Ohio State. I didn't realize they were any good last year. They lost to Michigan. That's all I care about, and they sucked. They couldn't even get a first down against Michigan. Where was this guy? So I don't buy that. That's a terrible pick. They need a quarterback. They need running backs. What the fuck are they? They need defense. It's not an offense. You never need an offensive tackle because you can plug in a 6th-rounder out of Notre Dame or Michigan or USC, out of any of the big schools, and you're fine. There is no skill set difference. It's not like baseball where Bobby can hit 300 and he can pound 30 homers, and the other guy just can't hit homers and can't hit 300. That's identifiable. But in blocking, okay, you're an offensive lineman in the NFL, and I put 5 guys without their number on. You couldn't tell who's who. None of them might even be drafted. You don't need drafted guys, and you don't waste first-round picks with offensive linemen. Oakland, Tyree Wilson, an edge from fucking Texas Tech. Are you kidding me? I didn't realize Texas Tech was this strong defensive power. I guess I missed that one. Terrible pick by you. Now, did they need the defensive edge? Probably. But, oh, shit. 2 picks down. Jalen Carter out of Georgia's there. You took this idiot out of Texas Tech instead of the best player in the draft out of Georgia. And we wonder why Oakland sucks. Oakland will maybe win 2 or 3 games, but this guy won't even play. He'll get hurt and he'll be out. Atlanta, Bijan Robinson, running back from Texas. Excuse me. Why? They have running backs. They need a quarterback. They need defense. The fuck do you draft? Bijan Robinson's not the end-all, be-all. I named 5 or 6 running back from Tennessee. Shake my head, Bobby. Shake my head. As bad as the Bears are, they're getting an offensive tackle to do what? Oh, we need to protect Fields. Fields came to the broadside of a barn. Fields is your problem. You need a quarterback. Tennessee, offensive tackle. I believe they don't have a quarterback and they got rid of Henry. So what good is an offensive tackle going to do for them in the first round when you could get it in the fourth round? Unbelievable. That's my favorite by the Detroit Lions. Jamar Gibbs, a running back out of Alabama. He didn't aim for 1,000 yards. He was on the second page of the running back sheet. So I go through like 40 running backs. Page 2 is Gibbs. I don't get it. What are you're drafting a running back with your first pick? You need defense. The next pick was Green Bay's Lucas Van Ness, edge from Iowa. Perfect. A couple down, my favorite, Will McDonald, went to the Jets, an edge from Iowa State. You could have had either of those two guys. No, we took a running back. Now, they had a running back last year, ran for like 20 touchdowns, and they wouldn't sign him, which is what the Lions' MO is. They never sign guys in contract. So they didn't sign him, and they get this guy. I'll give him 3 games. I'll bet you he doesn't play more than 3 games. He'll get the old fake injury that the Lions always use, a hamstring. He'll be out. Oh, another busted pick, and we're still waiting. It looks like the Alabama wide receiver is the one that made this pick because it's his buddy. And even this guy gave draft grade an F. What is that? Of all the running backs, Charbonneau from UCLA, there's a couple others I tell you. Utah has one. You draft this fucker from Alabama. So basically, it's just anybody that goes to Alabama, no matter how bad he is, we're going to draft him because he's the man. Unbelievable. I mean, this guy's not even a draftable player. I would have gone all 7 rounds. I wouldn't have drafted this idiot. I don't know where you found him from. You needed defense, and you drafted a running back. Unbelievable. So as I say, Green Bay, you got an edge from Iowa. That's good. Pittsburgh, offensive tackle from Georgia. He's from Georgia, but he's a waste. My favorite, the Jets. So they added Aaron Rodgers. Now they add this great edge guy from Iowa State. Beautiful. Let me see what this text is. So the guy's asking me, did I get my equipment from Hurley yet? And I said, no, but I assume it's going to come to the front door. It's not going to fit in my mailbox, a computer. So I would think that's where it come, but I haven't seen it yet. So I thought it was him. That's why I took it. It's going all right for now. Hopefully it stays good. Okay. It might be Kenzie. No. Kenzie's on Telegraph, which I don't have. This was my Hurley guy. This was the recruiter for Hurley. Well, yeah, I'm working remote, remember. So they're in Wisconsin. I'm in Michigan. To work on their systems, SAP and Excel, I have to have the laptop. Now, I don't start till next Friday, but I don't know when they're sending it. But apparently everything went well with the drug test and the background check, which I knew it would. So I'm going to enjoy this week and then next Friday. So Will McDonald from Iowa State, beautiful pick. Washington, Emmanuel Forbes, cornerback. What the fuck, from Mississippi State? I don't get it. Washington doesn't need defense, and if they do, they certainly back from Mississippi State, who's 6'1", 166. What is that? New England, great pick here. Chris Gonzalez from Oregon, cornerback. Belichick doesn't know what he's doing, does he? A cornerback from Oregon. Yeah, they had a really good defense. They only gave up 40 points. I think USC's scoring again on them, and UCLA. What is that? Why do they think he's any good? Detroit, Jack Campbell, linebacker from Iowa. I don't mind. They need a defense. At least this makes more sense. However, I would have drafted the other guy from Georgia or Iowa State, but I can't pitch. He's from Iowa. Tampa Bay got Cansey, a defensive tackle from Pitt. Who the fuck knows? They sent is the recruiter from Calabro. I don't know what that is. No. Damn. So next Thursday is the last. No, it's not the last day of class. I'll do them on the weekends. And we'll see. I might do a night class. I don't know. We'll still be doing class. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not dying. I'll be working during the day. I could do a night class. I mean, certainly with football, I will do the classes, but I'll be doing them on the weekend. Don't worry about it, Bobby. I'm not dying yet. Soon, but not yet. Tampa Bay, I don't know. Defensive tackle from Pittsburgh, I have no idea. Pitt wasn't that good of a team. Seattle, I can't understand this pick. Good pick with the cornerback. Now you get Smith in Ohio State, the wide receiver who played 5 minutes, hurt. You don't need that guy. And boom, you need Richard, and you don't need this guy. San Diego, it's like Keenan Allen left, so they took the TCU running back. I don't know. They need that defense. Maybe they get them today. They need 2 or 3 defensive players. Baltimore. Now, Baltimore signs Lamar Jackson to this $260 million contract. The guy's not want to play any decent team. He beat Tennessee, who was all injured. So in his other years, he's lost against every good team. Last year, he lost to Buffalo, who wasn't even a good team. They can't beat Cincinnati. They can't beat Kansas City. And you sign him to a 5-year, $260 million contract? Wow, that's unbelievable. And then you give him Zay Flowers, the wide receiver out of Boston College, who is nothing. He's about halfway down the first page. I don't get it. Why would you draft a wide? So what you've basically done is you fucked your team. So you have the quarterback making $50 million a year in a salary cap, which means you can't afford anybody else. And now if you play this receiver and then you've just signed Odell Beckham, that's a big contract. What do you got for defense? We don't have any money. What do you do when a guy gets hurt on the offensive line or anybody on defense gets hurt? You're bringing in a guy from Walmart's to play because you don't have any money to sign anybody good because you just gave it all to the quarterback. As we know, it doesn't work. So they're in big fucking trouble, Baltimore. I would not be betting this team. Minnesota, instead of it's a guy named Jordan Anderson from U. Terrible. What are you doing? If you're going to get a wide receiver, you're going to get a kid from USC. They never are any good. 5'11", 170. You have Jefferson. You don't need a wide receiver. You need Hooker here. He's available. When you want him, he won't be available. Watch. The Giants, cornerback, Deontay Banks from Maryland is where he started. What a pathetic pick that is. Buffalo Kincaid, tight end from Utah. I love it. Mozzie Smith from Michigan. Dallas always picks these guys from Michigan. They never work out. Taco Charleston. Yeah, he's waiting tables somewhere. Jacksonville and Oklahoma. O-tackle from Oklahoma is pathetic. Miles Murphy from Cincinnati, an edge from Clemson. Terrible. Brian Brees, the defensive tackle from Clemson. Terrible. And then you got Nolan Smith, Philadelphia, an edge from Georgia. Why didn't Cincinnati take him if they're not going to take Mike Myers, the tight end from Notre Dame? And the last pick, Kansas City, I like the edge from Kansas State. Let's see. He's sending back. Yeah, it should be a package they bring to your door. My manager's going to check with them and see if it's been shipped yet. Yeah, it'll probably go out this weekend. There's no real hurry. So that's today. That's yesterday's draft. And I just looked at it now. Last night I didn't pay any attention to it. I went to the pool, and what I did was I went to the hot tub for my back, and it loosens it up a little. Then I went to a smaller part because I can't get into the big 5 feet section. It's just too deep right now for me. I can't climb out of it. So I go to this. There's a 3-foot 10 section, which is okay if I bend down a little bit. And I kind of went there, really squint down, and all of a sudden I could feel my back loosening up. And I went there and I was able to pretty much run. And then I got out of so I did my little exercises, and then I kind of walked back to the hot tub, and I got in the hot tub again, and it was totally relaxed. I was able to walk out standing up. And those exercises where I'm scrunched over like this, staying in the 3 feet of water, was wonderful. My back just went, it was like, so I was okay last night, fairly good. And then tonight, when I wake up, I'm a little stiff. Now, I slept fine. I didn't have that real nagging pain when I sleep, when it's hitting the nerve. So it's getting stronger, but it's not there yet. And then when I got up, it's sore when I first get up. So I lay down, I sleep, I get up, and it's a little rough to get to the bathroom and come here. And then it kind of stretches out, and it kind of then, as I get the blood flowing. So it's just waking up is the hard part. So like I said, I'm a little bit concerned with Daria. Like, I'm not getting that many texts from her. Something's going on. I don't know what. I don't know, with the war, with the daughter, with the mafia. I don't know what's going on there. So I said, is everything okay? Is there something you want to tell me? Or, did you yell? It's like, what's going on? But paying for her teeth and her, and I don't think that's the answer. And then just figure out if I want to, how upset I want to stay at her. It's tough because I'm like, you left me. You fucking left me in Barcelona. Fuck you. And then she's like, oh, we got bombs floating down, hitting us. So when you hear that, how do I can't be too mean to her in the fucking war. That's why I took her to Barcelona. I didn't expect her to do this. So I don't know what to do with Jenna. And then Daria, it's like a funk right now where they're all busy with something else, and I'm sitting here like, okay, what's going on? It's crazy how in the past year the biggest contracts have been signed to Watson, Herb, Jackson. And what do they all have in common, Bobby? I'll let you answer that. Hurts made it to the Super Bowl, but won't win one, nor will the other two guys. These teams just burn their fucking money. They should just buy gold with that money instead of wasting it. Not only should the teams, the players should be buying money. Lamar Jackson should be buying gold with this money because he's not going to have it for long. 6 months later, it's going to be worth zero. The Titanic's going to come along. Hey, Lamar, you know all that money? It ain't worth shit. This is what I don't understand, because they're going business as usual, right? But when these contracts are there, and so next year, here's Lamar with this $50 million contract, but there's no U.S. currency. What's he going to do when Hulkamania runs wild on him? What is he going to do with? How are they going to rearrange the salaries? Because it ain't going to be in U.S. dollars. It ain't going to be in this, right? It's going to be in something else. So I'm really curious how this all plays out. Again, don't watch Andrew today. It'll just make you upset, and I don't want you guys to be upset. Professor, you ever heard of Washtenaw Avenue in Ann Arbor? Yes, I have. That's, I think, where I go for my gold store out there. I just Googled a poke spot by Michigan Stadium since you said you lived out there, and they have what's a poke spot? The hell are you talking about, a poke spot? You should try Poke Bowl, Professor. I'm getting one later on the front. Oh, it's food. Great nutrition. No, I got hamburgers going, and I got my veggies. I'm fine. I didn't eat for 72 hours. I'm not worried about nutrition. Just eat your fruit and veggies. I got hamburgers for dinner tonight, Chinese tomorrow. And, I haven't had my avocado yet, so I don't know what a poke spot is. Raw salmon in a bowl with crab, avocado, etc. Raw salmon. Yeah, you can put it lock a bagel maybe, but it sounds good. But I'm not running all the way out to Ann Arbor for it. I don't know. Not right now. Maybe if I'm out there. More importantly, there's a gold store on Washtenaw right off the highway that I was going to for my gold and silver. Now I go to these Heckle and Jekyll for it. But I'll keep that in mind, Bobby. Thank you anyway. I was tempted to buy General Zhao again, but it's on the other side of town from the barber where I got to go later. Well, you buy it. I go on Saturdays because I want to go on the weekends. So I'm fine with that. But I'll go tomorrow, and it's 20 minutes from me. It's I kind of bitch at them because they used to be a restaurant, now they're a carryout. And I go, I got to drive 25 minutes to you, wait 15 minutes for the order, and then drive 25 minutes home to eat it. So it's like an hour journey to get it. But what I try to do is I go to the club to swim first. So that's 15 minutes on the way. And then I go. And God, I'm seeing so much fucking construction all the way on one road and then on 5 Mile where the club is. So I got to now take 6 Mile. I got to go find a different route to get to the club because of construction here, construction there. Oh, I almost got a ticket yesterday, Bobby. You'll love this story. So there's this strange intersection where it's the sides go, then this goes, and then we go. So it's like 3 different lights, and it takes 5 minutes. So I'm in line, and I'm like number 11, and the first 10 go, and the light turns yellow. And as I'm going through, it turns red, and I don't know. I didn't look. I have a motorcycle cop behind me. So I pull into the Myers. He's got his lights on, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm not going to stop here. I'm going to go into the parking lot because I'm going to Myers. I wanted to get some food. And so he pulls, so he comes over and he shines the light in me. I felt like Cool Hand Luke. And I'm like, just cutting the heads off of gumball machines there, boss. So because I live in Novi and he's a Novi cop and I'm in Novi, there's no ticket. He says, is this current registration insurance? I said, of course. And then he looks at my license. He sees no tickets in 20 years, no accidents. He says, I'll give you a warning this time, but be careful. That's a heavily traveled intersection. I said, I know, but the lights are so slow and so long that I felt like I got to go. This is ridiculous. I don't have all night to sit there. I'm telling that to the cop. I don't have all night to sit there. It takes 20 minutes for the fucking lights to interchange. So he goes, yeah, I know. I live here too. And I just be careful. I said, don't worry. I'm very careful, but that's why I don't have any accidents or tickets on my thing. And I found that before. I don't have any incidents, no tickets, no accidents. And you're pretty much where you live, they won't give you a ticket because I pay their salary. So they are pretty good about that. So I knew I wasn't going to get a ticket because I'm in Novi and I live in Novi. And, and he said, I'll give you a warning. And I almost said, yeah, I know you're going to get a warning, but I shut up. I didn't. They walk it according to the website where they only spots fry it. And I want to eat good now that I finished my fast. See, that's the beauty of the fast, right, Bobby? In the same way, Professor always had a clean driving record. Hell yeah, Professor. That's how you keep it real, even to the cops. Well, it was funny is I knew, my spider senses knew I wasn't going to get a ticket. At first, I didn't know he was following me. Then he kind of put his brights on, and I'm like, well, we're turning in first before I get out of the car. And I just rolled my window down and say shit. And it's like, I says, I got to go in. My back's killing me. Says, you going to the pharmacy? I said, no, I'm just going to get like a muscle relaxer. And then another cop came by to make sure everything's all right. I love how we live right now. Everybody's like so panicked and worried. I was surprised he pulled me over, to tell you the truth, because they're so scared of these crazy people that I'm not sure they even pull you over anymore. But this construction's ridiculous. They close one lane. I don't know what they're doing. And then they still run this light cycle. You'd think they would change it. And I don't know why, like the center goes, and then why can't this side and this side go at the same? What are we waiting? We got to wait for them to make their left turns. And for us, we need, because we left turn onto the highway. So that's a big problem. But these should go at the same time. And then maybe the left turn should go at the same time. I don't know. The way it is, it's just ridiculous. So I'm not even going to go that way. I'm going a different way when I go to the club. I usually do good with the cops as well as I just speak to them normal. Yeah. And if you don't have much of a record, they're fine. I don't act nervous or get defensive. I just stay cool and talk regularly. They tend to respond better when we stay chill. Most people become emotionally rattled and fall into the trap. Well, what are you worried about? It's not like you're doing anything. I don't have a gun on me and I'm not doing anything wrong. So why would I get nervous? What are you going to do? You're going to give me a ticket, but you're probably not, because I haven't had a ticket in 20 years or an accident. You're probably just going to say, I'm giving you a warning because I'm older and I live in Novi and I live where you are being. I can smell what you're cooking. We both like the rock. Really, what are you going to do? Why would you give me a ticket? So I should have played on, do you smell what I'm cooking, from my phone. That would have really cleaned it. Like when It got pulled over in the middle of nowhere in Texas. The cop was clearly trying to off center by acting. He started at cool. I think I got what you were trying to cook there, Rock. So he was trying to be a smart ass, but then you stayed calm, and then he stayed calm. Yeah, I agree with you. And really not supposed to talk to the cop. When you watch these YouTube things, you're just supposed to say nothing. You're just supposed to say, here's your license. Here it is. Here's that. Here it is. What were you doing? I don't know. But I find, like you, if you just talk to him pretty normally, like he's on here, he's lucky I didn't start talking to him about gold. You got any gold there, please? Sometimes those county cops try to intentionally act like assholes to see how the person reacts. Then they can have a reason to get pissed. No, that's what I thought you said. Absolutely, I agree with you. But what are you going to do? So to me, I don't know. It's just, I was running that light no matter what, because I didn't want to wait another 5 minutes. And the light was yellow and I was going through. Now, had I looked in my mirror and saw a motorcycle cop behind me, which I assumed he was, I wouldn't have run it. But otherwise, the odds on a cop at that intersection was slim and none, because they're not waiting. There's no room. All the lanes are closed. Anyway, most people start talking about racism and all that BS, and then things escalate. I keep getting the system UI isn't responding. I don't know what it is. Some I get it, but most people are thinking about, well, Austrian economists do not think in terms of racism. If you have Austrian economics, there's no such thing as racism, be customers. So if we're selling the money, I don't care if a white guy, black guy, or red guy walks in the store. I care what he is. Why would I be racist to him? He's our customer. We're going to treat him. You want a pop? You want a water? What is it that I can get you? And then go buy it. So there's no racism in Austrian economics, our gold standard, because there's nothing that you can't just print it away. Okay, I'm back. I remember last year I got pulled over here up the block for not fully stopping at a stop sign. And when he asked me, what did I get pulled over? I was honest with him, saying what? What are you saying? Okay. Part two here, everybody. Yes, my fault, man. I didn't see no one coming, and I was just trying to get to the restaurant before they stopped serving breakfast. Well, in my mind, half the laws I don't agree with. I don't agree with any speeding law. I think careful. You go 20, 30, 40, or 50, it doesn't matter. You're not safe for driving 20 than 50. Otherwise, we'd all drive 5 an hour, and that would be really boring. But if need a red stop sign, well, if you quickly look and there's nobody there within a mile, what the fuck do you need to stop for? I mean, that's when you got to use common sense and go, I don't need to stop. I'm fine. And he was cool with me and let me know, saying, I understand, man, just stop next time. And you're like, yeah, okay, sure, I will. And then the next time you don't stop either. But see, again, he's just trying to say, look, I'm here. He's not doing a job. It's not even it's a stupid point that's wasting both your times. Having a stop sign, if there's no cars, is pointless. It's like if nobody wants the fat, ugly girl, she's worthless, right? The Titanic. Nobody wants her, she's gone. So when you got 100 countries not wanting you, it's gone. If you're at a stop sign and there's nobody there, what are you stopping for? You slow down, and if there is somebody there, you can stop. But if there's nobody there, what are you stopping for? I agree. It's absolutely ridiculous. It was an early Sunday and no one in sight, and he knew that. Then why did he stop you in the first place? That's what I don't. He's got nothing better to do than talk to you. I never stopped there. That stop sign is a joke. Matter of fact, I might run through it when I go get my General Chow. There you go. That's exactly what you should do. What else? So we talked about the draft. We'll talk about it tomorrow with more. We talked about the NBA. We won with Boston -6.5, won by 8. Today we got Golden State -7 in a do or die game. The other one I don't like. I'm playing at the Lakers and Memphis. Lakers are laying 4.5 at LA. They have to win. I'm leaving that alone. And laugh my ass, blast the rock music while eating the stop sign. There you go. You get him, Bobby. So let's see. Our gold price is looks like a dead even. So the silver is 25.02. Waiting for us to buy more, and the gold's up to 1990, up 3. Again, the bullshit, 10 o'clock bullshit, down to 1980. Now it's back to 1990, 1994. Just bullshit. I saw where the stock market 400 or 500, and all I could do is laugh. They won't tell people what's really going on, and it irritates me. So the market's up because of Meta, which is Facebook. Meta's Facebook and WhatsApp. Can anybody tell me how they make money on me on Facebook? On WhatsApp? I'm not on Facebook. On WhatsApp, I don't see one ad. I see Jenna, how you doing? Hello. I see Daria. I see some other people. Hello, how are you? I don't see an ad. I don't know how they make a penny on me unless they sell all my data, which is supposed to be encrypted. So I don't really know what are they selling me going to Barcelona with Jenna? I mean, maybe, I guess. Otherwise, I have no fucking idea what they're doing. So just keep that. So again, they're not going to make, nobody's making, but they're trying to deceive everybody into thinking everything's okay. And as I said, once you got the inflation, it doesn't end. It can't end. You've printed the money. It's already printed. You can't reverse it. And that's why they call it prices. Oh, when the prices go down, everything will be, no. You printed the money to zero. Prices are they're immaterial. You printed the money to zero. That's the problem. That's where you're at. That's inflation. So Anyway, that's what you have to be careful with. Um, I was looking at a bunch of Europe stuff, but I think we talked about it yesterday. That why is England down? Most of Europe's problem is they're too expensive. And so what happens is like everything. It's if India can make the Bobby Bow tennis shoe cheaper than London can, we're going to give it to India because we're trying to keep our down so we can sell it cheaper and make more sales and make more money. And when you have England and you have Germany and France and all these developed countries, the cost of labor is more, right? Because you make more. Like here, the cost of labor is more. That's why nobody in the U.S. is in manufacturing. We all go to China and India for phones and chips and all that shit. So that's why Europe is hurting. Germany's hurting because it's all manufacturing. They're like the horse and buggy guys. So they're making Mercedes and Audi and Volkswagen, but less people can afford them and competition and everything. So Germany's in trouble. BASF's a chemical company, but they're not doing services like, Amazon and things like that. Google, they don't have that. So I don't know how the U.S. is so strong because of Amazon and Google. Like, really? That's what it is. Then I looked at Apple's products yesterday. I kind of wonder why Apple's such a big player. I don't see anything but hardware, software, laptops. That's it. Phones. What the fuck? So why is Apple so big? It's all bullshit, right? Hey, Eric. Good afternoon to you. Hope you're doing well today. Bobby, yeah, I was thinking about Amsterdam the whole rest of the night. Believe me, once you go there, you'll think about it when you get home too. Will Golden State close out today? I believe so, yes, because it was do or die for Sacramento last game, and Golden State beat them pretty good. And Golden State is really in a do or die kind of. If they don't win, then they got to go to Game 7 to play at Sacramento. I don't know if the guy who was injured last game, and if he's still injured. But I would think Golden State knows at home at a playoff game they need to win, and I think they will. Then it'll be them and the Lakers, and that'll be really interesting. So Amsterdam is in the Netherlands. Yeah. I thought it was in Europe. Yeah, it is in Europe, bubblehead. What do you think the Netherlands are in? It's in go watch Euro Trip with Scotty, and then you'll see. Yeah, it's in the middle of Europe. It's near Germany. And Germany's got just as hot of girls as Amsterdam. So you might take a little venture into Germany, but I'm always worried about getting out of Germany. I think Golden State wins. Shocked that Milwaukee lost the other. Yeah, well, especially as 12-point favorites. And as you said, the Star came back to play. And that's my point. How did they were the number 1 seed. They got swept by the 8th seed. Like, okay, I guess really how good are they? And then that one guy you're talking about, or that one girl, the Greek goddess Athena, she didn't show up. Anyway, so looking at Richardson, the quarterback, 17 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Not only am I not drafting him, how the fuck would I be drafting him number 4? Are you fucking kidding me to draft this guy number 4? 17 touchdowns and 9 picks. There's high school players that would do better. Oh, but he looks good in his short. Well, yeah, I forgot. They're going to play flag football now because they don't want anybody to get hurt. Yeah, I missed that one. They're up by more than 10 halfway in the 4th quarter and blew it. Yeah, well, the fix was in. They couldn't win the game, Don Corleone said, and that's what happened. Silver, 1989. All right. So let's look at the NBA today, which we already did, but we'll do it again. Playoffs. So on the NBA tonight, Golden State 7.5 over Sacramento. I like them. And the Lakers 4.5 over Memphis. Well, they want LeBron in the championship, so he's of course going to win. because this is game 6. Memphis, as I said, killed them last game. See, that's the beauty of the backs against the wall. Memphis had to win. They lost the series. They're at home. The Lakers know they can win this game to win. So LeBron probably sat out half the fourth quarter, and they blew him out. And those are your only 2 games for today. The next Fed meeting is this Tuesday, May 2nd. That should get the markets moving. Metals have a chance to fly. Well, keep in mind, they're not going to tell you anything, and they're going to lie to you. They're going to say everything's fine, everything's looking good, inflation's going down, da 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 da. The truth is, heavy inflation. You have currency going to zero. You have the BRICS countries now coming out with the gold standard and the money backed by gold, and that's it. I saw somewhere where I think it was Argentina is now buying China stuff in yuan. And they made a big deal about it. And I says, well, I'm sure they're buying Brazil stuff in Brazil, and I'm sure they're buying German stuff in German. They're not buying everything in yuan. They're buying Chinese stuff in yuan. And if they buy stuff from America, they're paying U.S. dollars. So all that's happened is instead of everybody going to U.S., everybody's using their own currency. So if you want to buy from the Chinese, you buy yuan. You give them yuan, and that's fine. So you got to buy yuan to give them yuan. Or you do what Saudi Arabia does, which they sell them oil, they get yuan, they take the yuan and buy gold with it from the Chinese. So, you want all this? So China needs oil desperately, right? That's their problem. So they go buy a ton of oil from Saudi Arabia because the U.S. doesn't want it anymore because they want to be electric. So Saudi Arabia sells all this, they get all this yuan in, and then they don't trust it, so they turn around and say, give me gold with it. And they take gold for the oil. That's what Saudi Arabia is doing. And it's just a matter of time till the gold's through the roof. Again, it's the only no risk. I'm not calling it an investment. It's the only no risk place to put your money. Mutual funds, money markets, stocks are not safe to put your money in. Banks are not safe to put your money in. Please stop thinking they are. Because you're gonna wake up, you're gonna be fucked. You're gonna be fucked going, wait, what happened to my money? It's in the bank, I gotta get it out. Well, too bad. You're not gonna get it out. So that's what you got to realize. And you got to figure out if you're working, how are you getting paid when the dollar goes to, there should be a new dollar, but if it's not backed by anything, you're fucked. You don't want digital currency, so you're going to beg for gold and silver instead of digital currency, if that's what it comes. But they're not even ready. They haven't even tested it yet. That's a long way away before they do that. But what we want is out of the market, gold and silver. As you get paid, whatever currency you want to buy gold with. That's why we don't want digital currency. I don't want to get my paycheck in digital currency. If I can, we don't want it, and we're going to rebel if they do it. We're going to tell them to shove it up their ass. We don't want digital currency. Why do I want anybody controlling me? I don't want anybody controlling me, especially my money. Metals have a chance to fly. Metals are going to fly, Bobby. It's as soon as that gold standard comes out, and with Russia and China, they back their money by gold, is when it's going to fly. Supposedly they will pause rates. Who the fuck knows? It's the central bank. Will it be another war? Nah, well, we're at war. We're at war with Russia now. We're not going to go to war with China because it's impossible, because they need our oil. We can blockade their oil with one battleship. So we're already at war with Russia. So I don't know what other war you're looking at, Eric, but does Eric own, I don't know, Eric, do you own gold or silver? Bobby wants to know. And I don't care. You should. Put it from me. I try to advise you the best way I can to teach you what to do. I hope you have gold and silver, and I hope you have a lot of it. You should. It's the only no risk thing to be in, but that's up to you. I mean, if you want to stay in dollars and go broke, I can't help you there. I can only tell you that you want to get out of dollars, because we've already hit the iceberg. this is what you have left. So if you want to stay in that, that's up to you. But if you want to go take whatever you have remaining into gold and silver, then that's a smart play. I don't have any gold or silver. Sorry to hear that, Eric, but hopefully you'll buy some before you can't, because it's going to go quite a bit higher and you'll be lucky to find it. So again, you've been on here before, so you should know enough to be buying it. No, I don't expel people for lack of common sense, let's say. I only do for rudeness. If they start hounding me about the girls, then if it's personal attack, I don't like it. This is just, it's up to Eric to do what he wants, but then he's not going to come to me when he's out of money, say, well, wait, Professor, now I need gold. I'm not going to help you then. I'm helping you now, but I can't. You can lead a horse to water, you can't make him drink. So, Eric, I hope you start buying gold and silver before it's too late. But otherwise, you have a mortgage. So you don't have any money extra for gold and silver. You don't have $25 to buy an ounce of silver. Well, he got expelled for being rude, not for being without gold and silver. But my recommendation, Eric, is buy some silver. I have rent too. Bobby's got a mortgage. We still have gold and silver. You've got to understand, if you buy a 20 ouncer of silver at let's say $30 an ounce is $600. At $2,000 an ounce times 20 is $40,000. So for 600, you get 40,000. I don't understand why everybody wouldn't do that. If you think silver is going to stay at 25, 30 an ounce, it's impossible. And, I get we all have other expenses, but, I just went to Barcelona and I gave Jenna 5 ounces of silver and 2 quarters of gold. I got a vacation to pay for, but you try to be smart with your money and you budget it. Now, I don't know if you're working or not, or, you have any money, but I get you have a mortgage, but certainly you eat, certainly you have other money, and you certainly should be buying at least that. I have extra money for gold and silver. I'm going to start buying. Well, the problem is you might not be able to, because it's running out. Everybody's buying it, and there's only so much. I don't know what you're waiting for, but the longer you hold the Titanic, this crap, the longer you hold it, the lower in value it's worth. It's going to zero. So by holding it down to zero, you won't be able to buy the gold and silver. On the other hand, all you're doing is trading, let's say $300 for $300 worth of silver or a quarter ounce of gold. All you're doing is transferring it. It doesn't cost you a cent. So as long as you have enough money for gold and silver, the longer you wait, you don't understand the risk you're under, right? You have an extremely huge risk by waiting, because the price isn't going to stay and you'll be lucky to find supply. That's why I've been buying the last 2 years before the shit hits the fan. Because once the shit hits the fan, you won't have a prayer. You'll be paying $2,000 an ounce for silver and $30,000 an ounce for gold. And you're going to be pissing at yourself because you could have bought it for 25, 30 ounce for silver and $2,000 an ounce for gold. That's the problem. Can you handle paying $2,000 an ounce for silver when you could have got it for 25, 30? It's 20 for it, if it has any. He's out these little 5 ounces, little 5 ounce silver. Nothing left. He's going to, he can't get any more in. He had a few gold coins because people come in and need money and they're giving him the gold, and he gives them some cash and they can eat and pay rent. But that's where he's getting his gold, not from anybody else, but from customers coming in, giving it to him. So if you think you have a risk, you don't. I mean, if that's your concern, physical gold and silver, no, physical. You've been on here enough to know I don't do EF. There's no paper. It's all physical. Because if you own it, they can't fuck with you, right? Go watch Margin Call. Go watch Attack on Wall Street. Go watch Bernie Madoff. If you don't own it, you can get fucked. Oh, wait, it's zero. But if you own it in your hand, you own the ounces in your hand, nobody can fuck with you. And you have no risk. You can't lose. It can't go down. It can go down. The paper will go down, but not the physical. So when Russia, China starts booming up their money backed by gold, and the price hits, add a zero to 2,000, now it's 20,000. You're going to try to get it then? And if you can, you could have bought 10 ounces for what you're going to pay for that. Silver's a little different. It'll probably go 500, 1,000, 2,000. Then who knows where it's going from there. But there's no risk because this is an old car, right? It's going to zero. That's why you only see this much of it left. It's hit the Titanic. It's hit the iceberg. It's sinking into the sea. If you just switch it for silver, there's no risk. You didn't pay anything for it. So you took $200 of this, you bought 10 ounces of silver, or something like that. 300, 10 ounces of silver. That's all you've done. You didn't spend $1. You just changed it, right? You said dollars, silver. Okay, I'll switch. No risk and huge reward. Where else can you find a no risk, huge reward thing? You can't. You're going to put it in the banking system, you're on the Titanic. You want to put it in stocks, you're in the Titanic. If you think stocks are the answer, you're in the Titanic. You're not understanding that stocks are dollars. Inflation's killing the companies, and it's all, you got to realize that the stock market is mostly Chinese, Russian, Japanese, German, some Europe. That's who's in the stock market. And what's happening is they're fleeing the banks. As Credit Suisse goes out and all these banks and now this new Republic Bank, as they go out, people get scared and they're taking their money out and they're putting it into stocks, or a lot are putting it into gold. But because gold is derivative, paper driven, you don't see the effect on it. How strange that is. So China, I watched something here. I'll tell you, China yesterday, and it was, let's see. Where was it? Let's see. Bypassed the U.S. and many central banks dropped the dollar's share sharply. China sold all the U.S. money and bought 6,000 tons of gold. So it's good enough for China. I think it might be here. No, I must not have liked it. Anyway, so what's happened is all these countries are selling their dollars to buy gold. Why would they do that? Isn't their dollars good? Isn't gold a bad thing? See, they know what's going on. So if you don't understand anything, just look at what the Federal Reserve's doing. You're going, fuck, if they're doing it. These are bankers. I guess I'll do it. Physical gold, yeah, physical always. You want to hold it. And because if you watch Margin Call, right, with that one, whatever, Lex Luthor in it, whatever, and Spock and all those guys, if you watch that movie, we just got to sell it and, we got to dump it so we survive. That's all they cared about is we survive, we got to dump it, and we don't care if everybody loses everything. That's what you're dealing with. And then the next thing you wake up and it's Wall Street's all crooks. I'm giving you the only thing that you can't get fucked with, which is you own your own gold. I don't own it. I'm not telling you shit. I'm telling you, go buy the gold and hold it. And you are in control of yourself. And that's what should be happening. That's Austrian economics. The individual takes care of himself by using intelligence. That's it. And then, so I'm not selling you. I can't come back and say, the gold's worth zero. I don't control that. I don't control a margin call, attack on Wall Street, Madoff. Oh, well, it was all a Ponzi scheme. You don't know anything. We don't have anything for you. Well, if they were all in gold, none of them would have lost anything, but they're not intelligent enough to be in gold. They want to trust Madoff. So do you want to trust Madoff or do you want to trust yourself? Not me. I'm only guiding you. I'm your angel. I'm guiding you to go to the gold and silver store before you can't get it and before the price is too high. So I'm like your guardian angel taking you there. And then all you got to do is switch. Well, I got 1,000 of these worthless dollars that are about to be worth zero. And I'm going to go to the silver store and buy 50 ounces I'll buy 30 ounces of $30 silver, put it in my safe. It can never go to zero and it's going to go way up. I'm going to make a lot of money and I'll be off the grid so they can't control me. Yeah, sounds pretty good to me. I mean, I gave Jenna, my girl in Ukraine, she's got probably at least 10 ounces of silver and about an ounce, 2 ounces of gold over our past couple of years traveling together. When I meet her, I gave her 5 silver and 2/4 ounces of gold. And I gave her the white container. So I said, put everything in the white container and bury it in the ground or hide it from the Russian soldiers. And she knows it's close. I showed her eBay. I said, look, these are $650 for the gold quarters. They used to be $5. Remember, I bought it for $550. I go on eBay. They're $650 for the quarters. $650 a quarter, not $600. I'm selling it at $35. No way. I'm buying it at $25. I'm selling it at $2,000. Maybe only if I need money at $2,000. Now that I'm working again, I don't know. But don't worry, Bobby. I'll be on definitely on the weekends, holidays, and then I don't know. I got to get used to my shift. I might be working 7:30 to 4, so I might. It'll be dinner with the professor, so I'll have a steak and we'll talk for an hour or something. But I'll be here. You can always email me. I mean, I'm not, anything. Although I do probably want to move to Amsterdam or somewhere nice to work. Since it's remote, should be able to work anywhere. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing. So the gold is a no risk. Think of it as a no risk football bet. You can't. They're going to win. Mahomes is going to win. They're going to win, and that's it. So that's kind of where we're at with it. So you can't lose with it, and you're really just transferring the money. So let's go play devil's advocate, Eric. And the worst thing that can possibly happen is, oh, wait a minute, the dollar didn't really collapse, or they somehow give me my money back. And that's the beauty of it. You get your money back. But the odds on it not going up are like zero. And the odds on it going to 2,000 are extremely high. And so it's a no risk, big return type of, it's not an investment. See, I'm leery to call it an investment because it's not. It's gold and silver is money, and it's going to outperform stocks, bonds, mutual funds, REITs, all that. It's going to outperform houses. I love when people go and they buy. What the fuck is wrong with gold, and why would you rather have real estate? I don't get it. It really doesn't make any sense to me why you'd prefer real estate over gold. Gold, I don't do anything with. I put it in my safe. I kick back and do nothing. Real estate, I got to do something with, don't I? If I'm buying a house, I got to keep it clean. I got to pay cleaning woman comes in. I got to pay the property taxes. I got to mow the lawn. I got to keep it, not dusty. Coin, I don't have to put it in a coin holder, and I just keep it in my safe. And every once in a while, I count it, or I put it under my pillow. I mean, that's all you're trying to do with it. You don't have to do anything, and yet people are so afraid of gold for some reason. Oh, I can't buy. It's amazing how many people won't buy gold, and they're too stupid. And that Nazi I met the guy from Berlin I met on the trip, he says, well, I'm diversified, thinking that's good. Yeah, that's when Brady was on New England, we're all sitting there with Brady on New England, but guess what? Brady's not on New England anymore. You can't use the same trends you used. So you diversify your stocks. So good luck with that. Or you win stocks. I sold all my stocks to buy gold to make money on my gold. Stocks aren't going to go up. They're going down. And you might get a little punch now, but it's not going to last. It's the Chinese and Russians and, that's a short term. Stocks are going to go up, but not gold's going to go way up and no risk. Stocks could go down, which they will. So that's really what you're looking at. Please be careful. Please understand, why do you not go into gold and silver? What else is there? What is it that's a better investment that you're going to make more money with less risk on? Margin call, attack on Wall Street, Madoff. What is it that you think a house with interest rates going through the roof, you think you're going to make a better investment on real estate that's already jumped through the roof? And now if you need to sell it and interest rates are higher, who's going to buy it? Who can afford your $500,000? You bought it for $300,000. It's up to $500,000. You think it's going to go up to 7 or down to 3? It's going down to 3 because to sell it, my interest went from 2%, 10%, or 15%, right? So if the interest rate goes up, you got to factor that in the mortgage, right? So I'm going to sell it for $500,000 at 10%. Means you're going to pay, $5,000 a month. Well, nobody can afford that, especially with inflation. So you're going to have to lower your price to get where it's affordable for people to buy, because the interest rate's killing you. So that's your problem with houses, and you got to keep it clean and pay the property taxes and all that, pay the insurance. So it's not a very good thing right now. Land, unless it's next to Caesar's Palace, I don't know what land's going to do for you. I can only plot of land a mile away. It's not going to be worth anything. Who wants it? It's not worth anything. So that's what you got to be very careful with. So in my mind, gold and silver is the simplest, easiest, and it's going to go way up in value because of the BRICS countries. Brady is not on New England. He's now on Tampa. Or he's not on Tampa anymore, but he moved out of New England. So you can't use 2008 New England trends to figure out 2023 New England. But that's what all these morons are doing. Let's look at the chart. Look, 2008, it went up. Yeah, but Brady's not on New England anymore. You can't use that chart to look at what happened before is going to happen again. That's not how it works. You need a lot more variables. That's why I don't use charts to do economics, because it doesn't fucking work. I can give you the concept of the ribs are 40 and the market's 30. I don't need a chart for that. I just do this. He's trying to sell it over market. It ain't going to work. He's got to sell it at market. The key is figuring out the market. And then if you figure out the market, you can figure out the price. That's how economics works. You don't need charts. So that's the whole thing. So that's, people are just so fucking stupid that they don't understand. They just don't understand what's going on. And when these morons come on with the chart to try to explain what's going to happen, out of their fucking minds. It's because of BRICS. BRICS wasn't around in 2008. Russia, China wants to get and beat the U.S. and the way they do it is come out with currency backed gold. Once they do that, the price of gold goes through the roof because now the currency is more, because they're using gold as a backer, because they realize if you don't have anything backing your currency, it all goes to zero, which is exactly what's happening now. Euro, franc, pound, dollar, yen, it's all going to zero. Even the yuan and the ruble will go to zero unless they're backed by gold. And everybody knows this. So why do you think Saudi Arabia they don't want the yuan. They take the yuan and sell it and get gold for it. That's why they do it. So they're not stupid. None of the central banks are stupid. So just understand that there's no risk in it because it's about to go through the roof. Now, maybe before there was a risk, but not once inflation hit and BRICS, you have no risk in gold and silver. It's only going to go up. That's why I keep buying it. I'll buy another 10 ounces. I'll buy another 20 ounces. And now that I'm back to work, I might buy a few more ounces of gold, but it's all a no-brainer. What else? So basketball tonight, Golden State -7. We'll talk about the draft tomorrow. Looking for Hooker and Stenson Bennett to get drafted, Thompson Robinson. The better quarterbacks will go in this round 2 and 3 than when in round 1. No good quarterback in round 1, and these teams are just fucking idiots. CJ Stroud and Richardson. And Levis too. That's a joke. Richardson goes to Indy is like Carson Wentz. He's worse than Carson Wentz going to Indy. And we all saw what Carson Wentz did. This guy doesn't even know how to play. So if you think he's any good, if you think he's going to start, as soon as he starts, we're betting a lot of money against Indy and against Houston, right? Houston's going to suck with CJ Stroud. He's just going to run around a lot. So, okay, he'll be good maybe against Indy or against Tennessee or Jacksonville, but not against real football teams. And keep in mind, none of those teams could beat Georgia or USC or UCLA, Utah. None of them could beat it. Cam Rising, Utah quarterback, is healing. They're hoping he's back for the first week, but don't bet Utah until you see him in the box score. So if he ain't ready week 1, if you don't know, don't bet. Just watch. And then you see box score Rising. All right. 16 of 17 for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. Then we're ready to play him. Right now he's got an injured knee, and just leave him alone until he's better. Let's see what Van Dyke does this year. Hartman at Notre Dame, I look at them. They're going to be in the playoffs, I would imagine. Michigan sucks. Ohio State, I don't know. I thought Ohio State would be looking for blood after losing to Michigan 2 years ago. Now they lost to Michigan at home this year. Fuck me. If Ohio State loses to Michigan this year, day is gone. Ohio State doesn't – you get one chance. Okay, they gave him 2 to beat Michigan, not 3. You lose 3 times to Michigan, to this Michigan shit, you're in trouble. And all Michigan's doing is they don't even have a quarterback. They're just running the ball. Their quarterback sucks. Their defense is solid. So they're playing Bo Schembechler. We're going to run the ball 99% of the time and play strong defense. And that's what they're doing, and that's why they're winning. Give them credit, but Harbaugh kept dicking around passing the ball, but he doesn't. You thought Harbaugh was a good quarterback until you realize he's not. He had Andrew Luck. After that, he had Kaepernick at 49ers who sucked, and then you have whoever. No, I mean, who's on Michigan? J.J. McCarthy. He's terrible. How many pick sixes did he throw against ECU? 3, 4, 5? That's your problem. You have lousy quarterbacks. You don't know how to coach them. So Harbaugh is killing the team there. Anyway, so look for that. Look for Notre Dame with Hartman. Look for the quarterbacks. That's all I can say. Washington, Oregon, USC should be. They're going to be a great over. There's no defense there, but they got the Oklahoma offense. Is basically all they got. Everybody thinks Williams is so good. He's not. He's no better than the Alabama kid or the Ohio State kid. It's all a system thing. So he's not that good. Yeah, he'll be the number 1 quarterback, probably drafted by Houston or Indianapolis next year. But that's or the Bears. If the Bears are smart, any of these place teams will get him. Green Bay should get him if they can. Minnesota should be getting Hooker this year, unless they have no brains at all. I really hate there was 7 or 8 teams that took offensive tackles in the first round. They must be out of their fucking minds. These are the same teams that lose every year because you don't win with an offensive line. It's not necessarily because I can blitz 6 guys and your 5 ain't never going to stop me. If you don't have the quarterback and the wide receiver and the running backs, it doesn't matter. You could have the best line ever made. It's not going to help because I can blitz 6 and you can only cover 5. You can only block with 5. That's the problem with it. So you need to get to the quarterback. and you need to, get the receipts. Anyway, what else? Gold, silver, economics. So, again, don't waste your time with our guy. Terrible show today. One of the worst ones I've ever seen. The guest was way over his head. Didn't belong on the show, and they kept kissing his ass. I kept ready to throw up. Like, what the fuck are you listening to? This guy's clueless. Oh yeah, buy gold. Yeah, buy gold. Hello, we know buy gold. We know that the digital dollar. Why would you even bring that on your show? Because nobody knows what the fuck it is yet. He didn't know what it was. You can't get rid of this. You got to have paper dollars because you can't just have digital dollars that aren't printed, that the central banks can control. It will never work because they're going to keep printing it. If you don't have your dollars backed by gold, you have nothing. I don't care if it's paper or digital or, bubble gum. It isn't going to work. So I think that's it. Any other questions, comments? Bobby, where are you at? Your General Chow? Well, we always end the show for Bobby in our normal way. It's fucking Tic Tac hands.
Bold flavor and if you smell what the Rock is cooking.
All right, everybody. Have a good day. Buy your gold and silver. We'll look at the draft tomorrow. Yeah, I return to work Friday, but don't worry. I'll still pop in with football. Probably still Monday nights on the weekends for sure, because I'll be watching the games, but we can talk then. I don't know, maybe Thursday when the game, we can have shorter segments for the Monday night, Thursday night games. And when that one thing pops up, so if something big happens and, Russia, China, hey, here's the gold currency, I'll come on for that. But otherwise, figure it'll be on the weekend. So I'm not going anywhere. www.teaserking.com. Please, you can get my email there. Email me. So you can always get a hold of me. And again, I'm here to help. I'm your guardian angel, and your guardian angel says, buy your fucking gold and silver. It doesn't cost you anything. You're merely trading. What is it? Let's say it's $30 an ounce for silver. You're merely 300 of this. Hit the Titanic crap piece of shit dollars for 10 ounces of silver. That's all you're doing. It's a trade. It didn't cost. It's not like going to a restaurant where you actually bought a dinner, or I went to Barcelona. I had to buy a plane ticket, $1,000, hotel, $1,000. I get all that, but that's not what happened here. So that's what we have. So of course, please, www.teaserking.com, get a hold of me. That's what I'm here for. And you've got to be really careful listening to other people like this, like my show today. You've got to be really careful. So when you see, normally we like this show, but when you see this guy on it, you got to be careful to tune him off. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Most of the Americans don't. I just want to see Andrew McGuire and Alistair McLean. That's it. The rest of these guys are fucking clueless. They'll tell you the wrong things. This guy is Robert something.
It's hard to believe Mint's new family plan is just $15 a month per person. So I've asked my...
Hey, being aware of it.
Robert Kynes is his name. Now I'm going to watch the second half, but I have so many negative comments in here already. But I see, this is what I understand. It would be like me having a guest on, but he doesn't know economics. Like, I wouldn't do that to you guys. Or he doesn't know football, he doesn't know poker, he doesn't, or he doesn't know the draft. I can't do that. It's not fair. You're here to hear me because I got a master's and I can explain it and I understand it and I'm honest with you. You don't want to hear anybody else. And that's what I don't understand with Andrew McGuire, why he keeps bringing on these bozos. Robert Kynes, who questions the agenda behind the centralized electronic currency and its possible interference. He doesn't question it. He doesn't know what it is. It isn't even out there yet. So what's he questioning? Oh, we don't want the government controlling our money. Of course not. We're not going to allow it. And if we have to, we just buy gold and silver. And when we buy gold and silver, what are they going to do? They don't even know we have it. So go fuck yourselves. We have gold and silver. Leave us alone. You got to go get a haircut. Then my General Chow, after this class, what does he say? Well, that's what he's saying. He's saying how he doesn't really say anything. He doesn't know. Well, it's been done in China or something. I mean, that's his answer. Let's look what they did in China. And my answer is China's a communist country and they control their people. So it could work there. But we're the U.S. We are not controlled. We do not listen to our government. We think our whole government is all corrupt and it's all Bernie Madoff. So we're not going to listen to our government and we're not going to listen to anybody because we grew up with freedom, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's our Constitution. And we're not going to give that up for centralized digital currency. That's a bunch of bullshit. So they can say, you can't go to Amsterdam, Bobby. How'd you like that? You can't go to Amsterdam. You'd be like, fuck you. What do you mean I can't go? You going to the coin store casino this weekend? Probably not. I might venture to the coin store just to see his inventory, but I'm not really, but I got to pay for the trip. And then now I start the new job. So once I start getting paychecks, if it's still at this price, I'll probably buy some more. But right now I'm trying to recoup and, build the bank up for what I had to take out as I wasn't working and pay down some credit cards just a little bit before they go to zero anyway. So somebody called me up about that going, oh, we can pay off your credit card. And I go, oh, there's no reason. It's going to be paid off real soon anyway, once the dollar crashes. And, these salesmen have no fucking idea. And I'm sitting there going, well, the dollar's going to crash, so there won't be dollars. So therefore you won't owe your credit card. Thanks for calling. All right. But I might go Saturday just to check in, but really I'm not probably going to buy. Maybe I'll buy 10 more ounces if it's still 25 or whatever. But basically I'm not looking to do that. All right. Well, have a good day. I am going to go swim and I got hamburgers I'm going to make for dinner and tomorrow's Chinese. So I will talk to you tomorrow. I'm here if you need me, www.teaserking.com. I'll probably go swimming about 2 and roughly there, and then we'll have the draft tonight. All right, everybody, have a great day. www.teaserking.com.